Good morning, everyone. It's July 19th, 2023. Just a slight brief update on something I think everyone's possibly aware of, that a couple of days ago on the 17th, we did have another shooting down here. It was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and fortunately, I'm glad that the school children were not coming out at the time either, because, of course, they were in the summer holidays. So it was a blessing in that respect. But again, another shooting. We think it was drug related again, but we're not too sure. So I just thought I'd brief you on that. But what I want to talk about was somewhat more disturbing in some ways. I've come across another incident talking to another resident down here, that within the last 2 weeks, this incident was a woman who, out of the goodness of her heart, she thought she would be helping out the homeless. And this is the way she decided to do it. But, even though her heart was good, she definitely did the wrong thing. And what happened was that, from what I understand, was that she decided to stand on the street corner. She got a bunch of $5 bills together, and she started handing out the $5 bills to the homeless people that were on the street. Now, that was a really nice gesture, but what happened next was this homeless person came up and not only snatched the $5 out of her hand, but decided to punch her right in the face, and then grabbed her purse and ran with the rest of the $5 bills. So I wanted to warn you about being very careful about the way you deal with the homeless down here, because not all homeless are violent, mind you, but you get that one or that two. They come in and they can be very, very dangerous because they are desperate for that next hit. And I've done previous videos as well with Julie, and talking about even if you give them a toonie will get them a hit, because they start shaking, they get desperate, they'll go to the dealer, they can get a small hit just to stop the shakes. It'll hold them over till they can get more money. And how they get that money is through the panhandling or through shoplifting down here, as what's been happening, or stealing from one another money or whatever they have to do, or stealing the phones. So please be careful, but do it through normal channels if you can on handing out money. I remember a number of years back, one way of doing it rather than just give out coins was when we changed our parking meters. They took our old parking meters and put them down here in the market area, and the money that went into them went into the organizations. That was one way they could get a donation, was that way, to put it into a parking meter. I'm not sure if we have any of the old parking meters down here left after the pandemic. I haven't really checked for them, but that was one way that they did it at the time. And I think more people are just handing out money. I know I've had people, friends of mine, that'll go in the car when they want to wash your windshield, they'll just put change on the side and hand them change. Or I have another person who, rather than hands out the change, gets small packets of chips and hands them a chip, because it's hard for them to get the food sometimes. But again, you open that window, and again, you never know what you're going to get, because it could be someone who's really desperate for money. If they think you've got a wallet or something of value, they might just threaten you with a knife or something. So you have to be very, very careful, because whatever they're mixing with the drugs these days, we're seeing a lot of different things happening. And I think, of course, not just the drugs, but you've got the mental health. So you put these mental health people on the drugs, and if they're taking psychiatric drugs, everything can go very bad. So again, I'm warning people to be very, very careful and be very aware of their surroundings when they are down here, or anywhere else for that matter, to be aware of their surroundings today. So I just wanted to give you a brief update on that. But as for the woman who got punched, I kind of look at it this way. When I was a child, or a young person, my parents were avid campers. We used to go and travel all across Canada with our 10-trailer. We go into the provincial parks at that point. Now, we had signs up that very clearly stated, "Do not feed the bears." Now, if you're at a picnic table in a provincial park, this is one way of looking at it, okay? You have a pie in front of you. You just cut it in four to hand it out. And this bear just happens to come up to the picnic table, smelling the food. Are you going to be that polite Canadian and turn around and host and hand that piece of apple pie, say, to the bear? Because the bear is going to look at you and say, well, I got one piece here. Wait a minute, you've got three pieces over there. You've got more. Well, I don't want to settle for the one piece. I want the whole piece of pie. I'll take the whole pie. And is that bear just going to turn around and take a swipe at you and punch you in the face with those claws as well? I don't think you're going to want that. So that was basically what that woman was doing, handing out that $5 bills, was showing a little piece of the pie. And whoever came up and hit her literally wanted the whole pie. So this is why I wanted to just kind of put it that way. And do not feed the bears, please, because really what you're actually doing is not only are you giving, that woman be giving money directly to the addict would be going running back to the dealer, so that with $5 probably get a couple of hits at least with that money. So what you're doing is you're fueling a situation where you've got the addicts are getting what they need, barely, but the dealers, how they make their money, they don't care if they make it in short change or small change in between, because paydays come along. Then they get their big payout, because that's when these people who are addicts use all their money on drugs and then are short for the rest of the month because they don't have money for anything else. So they have to steal, shoplift, or whatever they have to do to get the money. So big paydays, the dealers are just helping them, these addicts, just get through to the big paydays. So please, what I'm looking at here is basically the addicts or the baby bears getting their fix, but the big mama and papas are really the big dealers who are really getting the piece of that pie. So please be careful, take care, and have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Take care.